Jen and here from BootMod. We're about to show you our new app. We're on version 2.0 as of this release. Last version was 0.40. We have gone to 2.0 because there have been literally over 400 changes we've done, adding different features and changing a bunch of things that you guys have reported over the last 6 years that the app has been out. So basically, we started with a full-on redesign of the app in terms of the frameworks it uses. To basically avoid going into the details, we took the latest technologies for mobile app development, used them to bring this app to production. Some of the notable changes that you'll see right away are the main login screen. You'll see a start button with an animation. It'll be red before the car is connected. When you actually connect to the car, it'll go green. It'll show your VIN number. You'll be able to see the IDs and the type of unlock that your car requires. Once you're logged into the app, in the top right corner, you'll see two icons. One is a cloud and one looks like a USB-C connection. The two icons will tell you connectivity status with the cloud. You basically know when you're in the app if you have access to the BM3 cloud services to pull maps down, and you'll see your connection with the car. So at any point in time when you're in the app, you know whether some connectivity issue is happening or not. In the old app, you had no clue about this. The other very cool feature that's been asked a lot is the ability to log in less into our app. So we've done that in this version. We've also added multi-login support. What does that mean? If you have a number of cars and they're all running boot mode, if you're a shop and you have dozens of cars that you're tuning, you can log into those accounts and they'll all stay logged in on your phone in that app, and all you do is just switch between them. There's no need to log out, log back in. In fact, if you're logged into one account and you connect to a different car, the app will actually tell you that it detected a connection to a different car and it'll ask you to switch over. There's no logging in again, so that really simplifies things. Over the last few years, we've gotten requests from international customers who don't speak English well, or English is a second language, and they wanted to see if we could incorporate multi-language support. And we've done that. There's close to 30 languages supported in the app. If you go into the settings menu, there's language support there. You can change it from the default English to any of the languages listed. If there's a language that you would like us to add support, you can let us know at support@protuningfreaks.com and we'll add that language in. The entire app, literally, when you change the language, changes in content. The buttons change, everything, except we didn't want to touch the flash button because it doesn't translate well into any other language other than English. One of the things we really enhanced is offline support. So when you use the app, you can go into the OTS maps, you can go into My Maps, download the maps that you need while you're connected, and they will stay in the app for as long as you have the app around. Unless you uninstall it, they go away. But basically, you download what you need, you go to the car, you flash it, and you're done. Flashing and everything happens like with any other app, except with the Wi-Fi adapter that we have out, that'll happen even quicker with the new app. The old app, you had to kind of go into an offline mode to use the offline features when you have no internet. This app automatically handles all of that. You would just basically open the app, click the start button. If there's no internet, prior credentials or login will be used to access the app, and you have access to all the features and all the screens. None of the screens look, half loaded or broken because internet's not there. Your dashboard will load, you'll be able to Datalog, the logs will get saved into local storage on the phone, and you'll be able to chart them all without internet, including flashing your maps. What we really focused on in this app is improving the dashboard experience. So what we did is gave the user the ability to create multiple dash screens. So if you picture iPhones, icons or Android icons for the apps where you can swipe among screens and click on various apps, you can do the same thing in this new dashboard. So you don't have 50 gauges on the screen, which you scroll up and down, which is very unfriendly to the user, especially if you're driving or at the track. Basically, you have 8 gauge layout when you're in vertical mode, and you can add as many dash screens as you like. You'll see dots along the bottom. You can tap those dots, add more dash screens, remove the entire dash screen out of the way. If you tap and hold on a gauge, it'll show you a menu to configure that particular gauge to set min and max alerts. So if a channel, let's say you want to know that you're never crossing 50 psi in your car, you can set on the boost channel or the boost gauge in your dash, you set 50 psi as your maximum value. If that ever happens, you're alerted right in the dash, and you have a history view of the dash that shows you when that happened and what the boost was. You can also make gauges bigger or smaller. By default, it'll come up with with the boost gauge at the top. It'll be a large gauge, and then you'll see a number of smaller gauges below. Tapping any of these gauges, you can change that as well. You can change the layout of the gauges, so you can move them around. You can move them actually from screen to screen as well. When you press and hold in the dash for a few seconds, this edit mode will come up, and you can tap on a gauge. It'll go down in this bar on the bottom. You go to another screen, swipe over, and you tap that gauge again, and it'll go into that screen. There's also two layouts to the dashboard. There is the default gauges, and then there's a list view. So you can change between those, whatever your preference is. We've also made change. Oh man. We've also done a lot of changes to the map screen. Map screen is, you guys are familiar with, we had two separate screens before, My Maps and OTS Maps. Now that's combined into one. And the OTS maps, once you get them, they stay in the OTS Maps screen. There's no more mixing between your custom maps and the OTS maps. So management and organization of those maps is a lot more concise and easy on the eye. On top of that, the OTS maps screen, it's been organized by stage, and you have selectors for Octane. That way, you have a stage 1 and a stage 2 map. We used to have 10 flavors of them, different Octane. The Octane selector is now in the bottom right for every map. We've also added the auto download for the maps. So if you're working with a tuner and you're building your custom tune and the tuner is done with the changes that they want to send you to Flash, the moment you come back in the app will actually download that update. You don't need to worry about clicking on it, looking at it, figuring out whether there was an update or not. The app downloads it for you, and by the time you get to the car, you'll have the map there ready to Flash. Somebody punched me and stuff. On the bottom right, you'll see a circular menu. If you tap that, you'll see a number of options there to request a custom tune, encrypt a file, add files to your account if you have files being sent by your tuner. In the My Map screen and the OTS Map screen, you'll see a little cloud icon to the right. If you tap that, the map will be downloaded to your phone. You'll also see we added swipe menus on the My Maps on actually a number of screens, but on the Maps screen, if you swipe to the right, you'll see the map config button come up, you'll see the flash button, so it's an easier way to get the flashing of any of the maps and after downloading them. Moving on to the Datalog screen, we have a split tab layout. You can see on one of them the cloud logs, the ones that have already been uploaded to the cloud, and you have another tab for locally stored logs. So if you're out there logging and you have no internet access, your logs at that time will be showing under the local tab. When you go online, they'll be uploaded and they'll show up under the cloud tab, so you can access it from anywhere. We've also improved charting of the logs. In this app, you'll see that the pinch and zoom effect on the graph, you'll be able to zoom in and zoom out a lot easier with your fingers on a mobile device. And you'll also see that the layout is a little bit different. Now the charts come up in landscape mode and the channels show up on the right. As you swipe your finger over the graph, the values will change on the right side. At the top, you have a menu, and the menu basically allows you to turn on and turn off the channels that show up in the log. We've also added the ability to change the look and feel of the app by changing the skin from dark to light to blue. 3 of them available for this version of the app. So if you go to the App Store, you'll see the new version 2.0.0 available, and you can download it from the App Store or the Play Store.